for allowing us to be here tonight. So my name is Parag Jayasinghe. I'm your city engineer with Public Works Department. Today I have one of my staff members, Ms. NEWRA Pelevi, who is going to help me with this presentation. Tonight we are here. First of all, I handed out sort of sheet in each one. Everyone get a copy of it? Right. So today we are here to talk about the North Washington Street Bridge, a very exciting project. We are very much into the design phase of it. So I have a PowerPoint presentation. First of all, can everyone hear me? Awesome. So can everyone also see that fairly clearly to some extent? Excellent. So we are going to go through some slides. I think I have about 20 slides and then an animated video. Hopefully we won't bore you too long. Shouldn't take more than 10-15 minutes. Okay, that's speed. Okay. So that should be fine, right? Thank you so much. So Mr. Len, if you could do your honors, and I'll try and stand back here. Just to give you a little bit of history, this bridge was built in 1898 and reconstructed in 1956. In 1961, the swing spans were closed. In 1977, the elevated railway tracks were taken out. And the most relevant thing is since 2003, the center barrel was closed to traffic. So that's almost 12 years now where the bridge has been functioning with just 4 lanes of traffic in each direction. Next slide. To put things in context, that little blob, metal looking blob in the middle, that's the North Washington Street Bridge. In the context of the very large and imposing Zakem Bunker Hill Bridge. And we are going to make quite a few references to the Zakem Bridge. So in case if you have forgotten what this bridge looks like, that's the existing bridge. Not the most pleasant experience for someone who has to walk over the bridge. And that's how it looks like from the side. It has a certain charm to it, but then one can debate what that charm might be. So, what sort of design philosophies were we looking at? First and foremost, we felt that the bridge should be complementary to the Zakem Bunker Hill Bridge, both in form and function. What do we mean by that? Form, the Zakem is a very iconic bridge. It's not world-class iconic, but it's iconic. With the new bridge we are proposing, we can't afford a very iconic bridge. We are going for an iconic light, like Coke Light, Miller Light, something like that. Okay, sorry for my poor choice. And function. The Zakem is an absolute interstate bridge. You can't walk over the bridge, the Zakem. This bridge, we want to reflect more like a city street that just happens to be over water. So that is the design philosophy. Taking it to the next step. So again, here's the form of the Zakem bridge. It looks like an upside down tuning fork. Very strong features. So here's what the current bridge looks like. And I did drum roll or something like that. And that's how the new bridge is going to look. So I'm going to give you a series of close-ups. So it will show you what this looks like. Next. This is another view of the new bridge. And we want to keep it in the context of the Zakem, so you get a sense of how the two bridges look. Another view. So in the functionality, this is a very interstate looking bridge. So the new bridge, remember we said it's a city street over water. The features we want, first of all, the bridge should be a livable bridge. So right at the center of the bridge, like my stomach today, it has expanded. We are creating a little area that is wider than the current sidewalks. You see a few trees over there? That we are expanding so people can actually stop and enjoy the place. So it's a livable bridge, walkable, hopefully far more better than what you experience. Multimodal. The bridge will carry both pedestrians, bicycles, and cars, buses. Next. Green. Somehow we will have trees on this bridge. Somehow. Okay. And green and sustainable also. So that's it in context. Next slide. So now I'm going to show you a series of before and after pictures, I think. So this is from a cyclist view, sorry. From a motorist. Pedestrian. This is that bulky stomach area. Pedestrian view. From underneath the bridge, the water sheet getting activated. So this shot shows it in profile. You can see the new bridge in the context of the second. These are the before and after views. This is how it looks today. And that's the new bridge. Today. After. And look at that inverted Y shape. We are trying to carry that theme. Before, after. And this is the one I really like. This is how it is today. That's
Are there lights on the
What does that look like?
That's an architectural feature. Hopefully we can make it come alive.
What's it for? What are those things for? Look,
just
those
an
big sticks up there.
It's
Those
just an
sticks.
architectural detail.
It's just
Like the
decoration.
greenway.
Like the
Decoration?
greenway.
Useless.
Save money.
Looks like a construction site.
But what
I
for?
like the trees and all of that. I like the trees, etc., but it looks like a construction site.
There may be others who may feel slightly different from you on that
I
front.
understand that, yes.
So-
Obviously.
So we also have
I
a
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How do we get over there until the bridge is completed? How do we get to Charlestown by foot? I do that trip, not this winter because
You
of
mean
the snow, but
underneath
I
the
do
bridge?
it
During
several times a
construction.
week to get to my
oh,
car.
oh. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You,
I mean, I, for example, make that trip several times a week during most of the year to get to my car because I park in Charlestown. How do we get there while this is being completed?
okay, so I'll entertain all questions. I have another small video to show, and then if it is okay with you, I'll take all your questions. The video should be about 3 minutes. Okay? Aaron, if you can take with the. Here we go. So this is an animated video as to how the bridge will look like from various perspectives.
That's as loud as it gets.
Crazy video.
Okay, sounds quite dramatic. So at this point, I'll be happy to answer the questions, and starting off with this ladies, if it is okay with you.
Yes.
So ma'am, your question was
Question, how to get across the distribution, am I doing construction, right?
So I'll give some highlights. This bridge is going to construction in the year of 2017, plus or minus thereabouts. 3 years of construction. At all times, I believe 2 lanes of traffic coming into the city, 1 lane of traffic exiting the city, all times full pedestrian access on each side. Keep in mind that this bridge carries the hazardous cargo traffic because you can't go underneath. So that's part of the equation. There are unnecessary amount of utilities underneath this bridge, and to move and stage this is not easy. It's complicated. It's not going to be easy. I'm absolutely not telling you that it's going to be an easy project. It's extremely challenging. We, the city, are spending millions of dollars every year just to keep this baby functional. It's not fun. It is in absolute need of attention.
You mean the present bridge?
The present bridge. It is in absolute need of attention. What we are showing here is a design that has the buy-in by the State Department of Transportation both from a design perspective and to build it. We were very concerned about us having a design which they will not buy in, because we need this thing to move forward. So hopefully, ma'am, I was able to answer your questions. Ladies.
Leslie Valley on Soho Street. So we actually look over that bridge, and I love that bridge. It's a beautiful bridge. To me, it's history. It's the built in the 1800s. And I understand that it needs repair, but related to that, I have 2 questions. One is, the new bridge, is it any wider than, other than the cutouts where, you know, this for decor decoration? Also, have they looked at just redoing the underpinnings and whatever they need to do, and having the bridge still look the same? And we have old against new here all the time. To match it to the Lenny Zachem, I mean, to me, that's history. That's kind of history. It's beautiful.
So again, let me see, there were 2 parts. You were concerned about the size of
Is
it.
it any wider?
Yeah,
Are we gaining any width?
basic footprint is the same, other than the pedestrian area. 2, a project of this nature has to go through massive amounts of historic environmental reviews. Lots of pre-work had to be done, almost 8 years of background work amongst people who had a variety and a wide spectrum of interest. Should we replicate what is there versus investing and building such a product, and how much or to do something? So went through a lot of those gyrations, and it is the collective understanding that this is the direction it needs to go towards the ability to replicate a bridge looking exactly like the old bridge and the cost that might be associated with it. So about 8 years of jumping through various hoops as to historic preservation, we had to go through all of that, and this is where we are. Yes, sir.
Mostly what you've discussed are the non-transportation uses of the bridge. And I'm concerned about the transportation components that are going into the design, that the traffic management component of this that has to be incorporated into the design. For instance, when you're coming from Charlestown, there are 3 lanes entering the bridge, and you've got a 2-lane bridge still. In your video, it looked like it was 2 lanes in each direction. Is that correct?
Through the middle of the bridge.
Yes.
So differentiate what is happening within the body of the bridge versus what is happening at the 2 stoplights.
But we're still going to be merging 3 lanes into 2 lanes when we get onto the bridge, just like we're doing today, which is a very, it's an unfortunate situation for traffic movement. But anyway, you're not the traffic guy,
No,
are you? You're the public works guy.
Well, let me say it in another way. I'm the project manager for this bridge. It's a public works owned asset, and it is fair for me to say we will not build a bridge without the traffic aspect flowing seamlessly, not just on top of the bridge, but even underneath the bridge, because we have pedestrian walkways. So I have another 80 slides which I can show you that goes into a tremendous amount of details as to how all of those lanes are properly
Well, I think it
integrated.
would be great for this community to have a separate presentation on the movement of cars and the movement of people from one side to the other and vice versa.
I'd be happy to put that
And how the
information.
lanes all blend together at the interfaces. And the other aspect of this, well, then there's the boats. I assume the bridge is going to be the same clearance as today, or is it higher?
It's going to be,
Or lower?
the clearance is going to be a little bit higher because the depth of the bridge is going to be skinnier.
Okay. The other concern that we have in this neighborhood is that we are already seeing the traffic impacts of development projects in the area. Both the traffic impacts of occupancy of these major projects and also the traffic impacts caused by construction. You mentioned a construction period of 2017 to 2020.
Yes.
It is possible that there'll be up to 6 massive development projects being constructed in that same period within a quarter mile of that bridge. And I could list them all now, but we've gone through this before in our meetings. We would like a discussion about how you're going to coordinate the traffic that's going to be caused by the developments, the traffic that's going to be impacted by the developments, with the fact that the construction of this bridge will add another impact for at least 3 years. And finally, one other thought on the transportation issues, the traffic issues. What are the numbers that you're planning for? Are you planning for increased traffic volume, which is what we're going to have? We've seen it in all the reports for these development projects. Or are you actually restricting traffic so that it goes somewhere else? The plan for Rutherford Avenue, not by your group, I think, but by the state and BTD
The city.
maybe. The plan for Rutherford Avenue is to actually limit capacity, reduce capacity along Rutherford Avenue. There's no plan that I've ever seen for where the traffic is going to go. They expect traffic and they want traffic to go elsewhere, but they haven't presented where the traffic is going to go. If the same thing is going to happen with this bridge, that the bridge is actually going to reduce traffic capacity so that traffic goes somewhere else, we want to know where that traffic's going.
So in terms of where traffic goes, I will be happy to convey your concerns to Commissioner Priyantaka, who is the Commissioner of the Transportation Department, and she and her staff will be happy to come and answer those questions. But that being said, it's not my style to just dump it on someone else. So let me touch upon what you're saying. Since 2003, for 12 plus years, the bridge is functioning with 4 lanes of traffic.
Not well.
There's a merge lane on the other side of the intersection that happens on the bridge. It's a 3rd lane. That will now be at City Square or in the middle of the intersection.
What I'm going to do is all the slides which I will make sure that you put the full presentation on the website. There's tons of slides which will go to great detail on all of this stuff. Now, there's an ongoing debate as to whether this bridge should be 4 lanes or 6 lanes right through the guts of it. Not at the 2 ends, because we can't take down the TD Bank garden. I mean, there are some constraints on both sides. So right through the middle of the bridge. The way this bridge is designed in years to come, because when we do a bridge like this, do we build this for 20 years? No, 50, 100 years. It is without very dramatic cost expenditures, you can very easily reconfigure the bridge's surface area for 6 lanes. Very easily. So that flexibility was put in.
Cutting out what?
Okay, so right now, I'm sorry?
The sidewalk or?
Oh, that would be a step in the direction in the backwards, right?
The trees.
Right, not the trees also.
Get those here anyway.
Does anyone want to give a guess as to what, in lieu of what? There's a bicycle lane. Okay?
Oh, no, but the mayor tells us he wants us to ride bikes.
So I don't, again, this is not a forum, please don't drag me into a forum of debating whether the city should have bicycle lanes or not. My task, oh that sounded too pompous. The purpose of this project, is to provide a multimodal bridge. If in the years to come, if the collective wisdom is, let's not consider the cycling mode as a mode of choice, one can easily change it. So my task is to build flexibility. So someone in the future cannot say, oh, it's going to cost millions to undo it.
We're starting to get the hook from our host.
So
I'm hoping that you can wrap it up. Maybe you could tell us what the next milestones are.
So
And like when are the drop dead decisions, et cetera. We are going to be thrown out of here in 5 minutes.
and I think she's going to teach me if she
Know where the
doesn't.
gas pipes are gonna go that are currently right on the sidewalk.
Yes.
There's gas pipes that go.
Oh, you mean the pipes underneath the bridge?
No, hanging on the inside of the rail.
They're on the inside of the railing,
The
they're gas
pipes along
pipes.
the railing going towards Charlestown, like on the water side.
And stand up.
On that side. There are those pipes along the bottom of the railing that line the.
And it takes natural gas.
There is a major natural gas pipeline that is very old and has been leaking for as long as I've lived here, 30
Okay.
years.
So excuse me, this very
Yes,
lovely
yes.
lady had a
Please.
very relevant question. All the utilities are going to be underneath the bridge. We are designing it in such a way so it is hanging underneath the bridge but covered. So you don't see the ugliness if you're a boater or through that. I'll take one more question. Ooh, 2 more questions.
Are you going to allow hazardous cargo to travel over the
Absolutely.
bridge during construction?
I may have to. I have to. Okay, because there's no other way to manage that situation.
And can we have another meeting when you're getting closer to
Joanne's a direct butter, so we'll
construction?
have a butters meeting when we start.
So that we'll know the construction phases?
Oh, good Lord, yes. My apologies. We will never, we are in Boston and we have a very open system. When we are far more closer to knowing these nuances of all traffic management, we will come to you. This is just to give you a flavor of what this bridge is about.
Because I live on North Washington Street.
We asked about milestones.
So
Are
the-
we final design, is it
We
still
are,
changing?
so this project design concepts, we are at a 25% design meeting. We are running with it. So 100% design by about August of next year.
I live on
Before-
North Washington Street,
So
and the
we-
street is a mess now.
It is a
I can't
challenging,
imagine.
I can say, yes, it is challenging. So we will work very close together.
I was just gonna say, I'd like to have these come back soon because there are 2 major issues that needs to be raised here. One, the new buildings that are gonna go up right at the Boston foot of this bridge. No parking built into the residential towers. How are those people gonna get around? And the second one has to be this gas line, which has been there probably for 50 or 60
It will
years.
be underneath the bridge.
But it's underneath the bridge that's got cargo going over the top of it. This is a matter of great concern to us.
But we need to also supply gas from Charlestown to Boston. So that's the reality.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.